You're not family, the lawyer said, sliding an envelope across the mahogany desk. But according to this will, you own everything. 3 days earlier, I had watched my husband die surrounded by people who didn't know I existed. Now I sat in a conference room full of his relatives, their faces twisted with rage as they learned the truth. Daniel Montgomery had been married. For 8 years. To me. My name is Maya Chen, and I'm about to tell you how I became the richest widow in New York, and the most hated. The heart monitor's rhythm slowed to a crawl as I slipped into Daniel's hospital suite at the Montgomery mansion. I'd driven 3 hours from our beach house, little Lily asleep in the back seat, but his brother had called the family meeting before I could reach his room. So I waited. I was good at waiting. I'd been doing it for 8 years. When the hallway finally emptied, I moved quickly to his bedside. His eyes fluttered open, and despite the yellowish tint of his skin, despite the skeletal frame beneath expensive sheets, he smiled. Maya, he breathed. You came. Always. I took his hand, pressing it against my cheek. I'll always keep my promises. His fingers tightened weakly. 8 years wasn't enough. I should have told them. I should have. Sha. I smoothed his silver hair, now thin from chemotherapy. We had our reasons. The door burst open. Christopher Montgomery, Daniel's oldest brother, stopped short. Who the hell are you? Christopher, Daniel's voice strengthened momentarily. This is Maya. She's my friend, I cut in quickly. An old friend. Christopher's eyes narrowed, but he nodded curtly. 5 minutes. Then family only. After he left, Daniel looked at me with anguish. Even now, you protect them. I'm protecting your peace. I leaned closer, my voice dropping to a whisper. This isn't the time for revelations. The letter, he rasped, his breathing growing labored. In my desk. My attorney has everything. They'll know soon enough. I know. Promise me something. His grip on my hand intensified despite his weakness. Stay for the reading. Face them. They need to see you. Really see you. I hesitated. Facing the Montgomery family was the last thing I wanted. But looking into Daniel's fading blue eyes, I couldn't refuse him. Not now. Not when these were his final hours. I promise. The family filed back in, brothers, sisters, cousins, all dressed in designer black, all wearing expressions of calculated grief. Through it all, I remained in the corner, a silent witness to the death of the man I'd loved in secret. No one noticed my trembling hands. No one saw me bite my lip to keep from screaming. No one realized they were watching my husband die. When Daniel's chest fell for the last time, when the monitor's tone went flat, I slipped out. In the hallway, I pressed my back against the cold wall and let the sobs come. You were important to him, weren't you? A young woman appeared, Daniel's niece, Rachel. Her eyes were red-rimmed. I wiped my tears. Yes. I wish I'd known him better. Rachel's voice cracked. He was always so closed off. He had his reasons, I managed. Are you coming to the funeral? I thought about my promise. Yes. And to the reading of the will. Rachel looked startled. The will? That's family only. I'll be there, I said quietly, then walked away before she could ask more questions. The charity gala glittered with Manhattan's elite. Crystal chandeliers cast rainbow prisms across the ballroom as wealthy donors wrote checks for the children's hospital. I moved through the crowd with practiced efficiency, clipboard in hand, ensuring everything ran smoothly. 6 months of planning had led to this night. Excuse me. A deep voice stopped me. Somewhere quiet I could make a call. I turned to find myself face to face with the most striking man I'd ever seen. Tall, silver-haired despite appearing only in his mid-40s, with blue eyes that seemed to see straight through me. His tuxedo screamed old money. Of course, Mr. Montgomery. I recognized him immediately. He'd donated $1 million. Library, down the hall to the left. You know who I am. He seemed surprised. I smiled. It's my job to know all our donors, especially the generous ones. And you are? Maya Chen. I organized this event. His gaze swept the ballroom appreciatively. Then I should be complimenting you. This is exceptional. Thank you. The library. I led him to a quiet room lined with books. He paused at the doorway. Have dinner with me tomorrow night. I blinked. I'm sorry. Dinner. Tomorrow. His directness was startling. "Please." "I don't date clients," I said firmly. "The event ends tonight. I won't be your client anymore." A smile played at his lips. "Just dinner. If it's terrible, you never have to see me again." Something in his eyes, a genuine interest, not the predatory look I'd seen from wealthy men before, made me hesitate. "Just dinner," I agreed. Just dinner became breakfast the next morning. Then lunch the following day. Within weeks, we were inseparable. Daniel's world was unlike anything I'd experienced. Private jets to Paris. Michelin-starred restaurants. Art galleries opened after hours just for us. But what surprised me most was Daniel himself. Behind closed doors, the ruthless CEO was thoughtful, funny, surprisingly vulnerable. "My family has expectations," he told me one night in his penthouse. "The Montgomery name carries weight. Old money, old traditions, old prejudices." "Are you saying they wouldn't approve of me?" I asked carefully. He traced my cheekbone. "They wouldn't approve of anyone who might change their perfect image of me. But you're independent, strong, not from their world. You wouldn't play their games." "And because I'm Asian," I added quietly. "That's part of it," he admitted. "But mostly because you're real. And they're not. So what does that mean for us?" He pulled me close. "It means I have a choice to make." 3 months later, he proposed with a simple emerald ring. "I want to marry you," he said. "But I need to ask something difficult." I waited, my heart pounding. "I want our marriage to be private. Just us. No family, no press, no announcements." I pulled back. "You want to keep me a secret?" "I want to keep us sacred," he countered. "My family, they destroyed my brother's first marriage. They'll try to destroy this too. I can't risk losing you." "So I'm supposed to live in the shadows? Never meet your family? What kind of marriage is that?" "One where we make our own rules." He took my hands. "One where we build something just for us, without their interference." "I'm not ashamed of you, Maya. I'm afraid of them." I thought about it for days. Could I be happy as a secret wife? Was love enough if it had to be hidden? In the end, I said yes, with conditions. 5 years, I told him. We keep it private for 5 years. Then we tell everyone, no matter what. "Deal," he agreed immediately. We married on a beach in the Maldives with only the officiant and 2 strangers as witnesses. We bought a penthouse in the city where we could be ourselves, and a beach house in Montauk registered to an LLC where we could pretend to be a normal couple. For 3 years, we were blissfully happy in our bubble, away from the Montgomery family's judgment. Daniel split his time between our secret life and his public one. I built my event planning business, keeping my maiden name professionally. In year 4, everything changed. "I'm pregnant," I told him one morning. Joy flooded his face, then clouded with worry. "This changes things." "Yes," I agreed. "It does." Lily was born on a stormy April night. Daniel held my hand through every contraction, tears streaming down his face when the doctor placed our daughter in his arms. "She's perfect," he whispered. "Just like her mother." For Lily's first year, we lived in a cocoon of happiness. Daniel managed 4 days a week at the beach house, 3 maintaining his public image in the city. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. Then Daniel's father had a massive stroke. "I'm so sorry," Daniel told me during a rare weekend visit, dark circles under his eyes. "Everything's falling apart at once. The mergers hit complications. Father's dying. Christopher's making power plays that could destroy decades of work. I saw the toll it was taking. We'll get through this. You and Lily are my real family," he said. "The rest, they're my responsibility." As months passed, our time together grew shorter. Daniel's father lingered between life and death. The merger dragged on. And through it all, Daniel maintained his exhausting double life. On Lily's 2nd birthday, he missed her party. "Board meeting ran late," he explained over the phone, his voice hollow. Then father had another crisis. "It's okay," I said, though it wasn't. "I'm failing you both. You're doing your best in an impossible situation." Later, as I watched Lily sleep, I wondered if Daniel would ever be ready to reveal our existence. A car pulled into the driveway. Daniel's Aston Martin. He rushed in, breathless. I couldn't miss her birthday completely. He watched our daughter sleep. "I'm missing too much." "Then stop missing it," I said simply. Make a choice. Anguish crossed his face. I'm trying. 3 more months. The merger will be done. Then I start transitioning out. And after that? Will there be another crisis, another delay? No, he said firmly. I promise. But 3 months came and went. The merger hit complications. Daniel's father rallied briefly. And I found myself increasingly alone with Lily. On our 5th anniversary, the deadline we'd agreed upon, Daniel didn't come home. He called at midnight. Christopher had me followed last week. He's suspicious about where I go when I'm not at the office. My blood ran cold. Did they track you to us? No. But we need to be more careful. Or maybe, I said carefully, it's time to stop hiding. Silence stretched between us. Just a little more time, he finally said. Until I secure my position post-merger. With a heavy heart, I agreed to wait. Again. As Lily's 3rd birthday approached, Daniel was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Daniel arrived on a Tuesday morning. Unexpected. Lily ran to him, her curly black hair bouncing, her father's blue eyes shining. Daddy! He held her longer than usual. Over her head, his eyes met mine, and I knew. After settling Lily with breakfast, we stepped onto the deck overlooking the ocean. What is it? My voice was steadier than I felt. I've been having pain. Finally saw a doctor. He took a breath. Pancreatic cancer. Stage 3. It's already spread. The world tilted. No. There must be. I got a second opinion. It's aggressive. Treatment options. Surgery isn't possible. Intensive chemo, then radiation. But Maya. He paused. Even with treatment, they're talking months. Maybe a year. No. I paced the deck. We'll find clinical trials, experimental treatments. That's my warrior. He smiled sadly. But we need to be realistic. Don't you dare give up, I warned, tears filling my eyes. Lily needs her father. I need my husband. I'm not giving up. But my family needs to know about you. Now. Before I start treatment. He was right. The timing would never be perfect. But if not now, when? When he was too sick to stand up for us. When he was gone, and Lily and I faced them alone. You're right, he said quietly. It's time. The next weeks blurred together. Doctor appointments. Treatment plans. Stolen moments as a family. Daniel began aggressive chemotherapy that left him nauseated and exhausted. 2 months in, his father died. The funeral was a society spectacle. Daniel stood with his siblings, playing the dutiful son, while I watched on television, an outsider to my husband's public life. After the funeral, Daniel's condition worsened. The cancer wasn't responding to treatment. Instead of introducing me to his family as planned, he was now fighting for every day. I need more time, he said during a good day. This isn't how I wanted it to happen. But the next day, a severe medication reaction landed him back in the hospital. I paced the waiting room, unable to go to his room for fear of encountering his family. A nurse took pity on me. He's asking for you. His family just left for dinner. I slipped into his room, heartbreaking at the sight of him. Once robust, now skeletal. Skin yellowed from liver involvement. Hey, beautiful, he whispered. Hey yourself, handsome. He tried to smile. Liar. How are you feeling? Like I'm running out of road. He gripped my hand. Promise me something. If I don't make it, don't let them erase you. Don't let them pretend you and Lily don't exist. A sob caught in my throat. Daniel. Promise me. The will is set. My attorney knows everything. But I need you to be strong. Stand up to them. I promise, I whispered. But you're going to be fine. In my heart, I knew we wouldn't get through this together. The clock was running out. Autumn leaves scattered across the Montgomery estate's lawn as I pulled up to the imposing gates. I'd never been here before, had only seen pictures in magazines. 4 months since diagnosis. Daniel's experimental treatment had failed. The doctors now spoke in terms of weeks. Yesterday, Daniel had been moved home to die. He'd called, voice barely a whisper. I need to see you. Both of you. I can't die without holding you one more time. So here I was, Lily asleep in the back seat, about to walk into the lion's den. I pressed the intercom. I'm here to see Daniel. He's expecting me. A pause. Your name? Maya Chen. A longer pause. One moment. I waited, fingers drumming nervously. Mr. Montgomery is expecting you. Please drive up. The gate swung open. The mansion loomed ahead, a sprawling stone structure housing generations of Montgomerys. A butler met us at the door. Mr. Montgomery is in the East Wing. Follow me. We walked through opulent rooms. I felt eyes on us, conversations suddenly hushing as we passed. The butler knocked on a door. A nurse opened it, surprised. Mr. Montgomery is resting. Let them in, came Daniel's faint voice. Please. The room was large but dim, curtains drawn. Medical equipment surrounded the bed. Daniel lay painfully thin. Hey, I said softly. We're here. His eyes opened, focusing with effort. When he saw us, his face transformed with joy. You came. Of course. I lifted Lily onto the bed. She hung back, frightened by how changed her father looked. Come here, princess. Don't be scared. She touched his face tentatively. Does it hurt, Daddy? Not when you're here. His voice strengthened. I've missed you so much. For an hour, we existed in our own world. Daniel listened to Lily's stories, asked about preschool, told her how much he loved her. A knock interrupted. Christopher entered without waiting. Daniel, the attorney's here, he stopped short. Who are they? Christopher, Daniel said deliberately. This is Maya. And this is Lily. Christopher stared, confused. The attorney needs. Anything he needs to say can be said in front of my wife and daughter. The silence was deafening. You're what? Christopher managed. You heard me. Daniel's hand found mine. It's time for the truth. I'm dying, and I won't leave this world with lies on my lips. Christopher's face hardened. We'll discuss this later. When you're thinking clearly. After he left, Daniel turned to me, exhausted. That went well. Could have been worse. He'll be back. With reinforcements. Minutes later, the door opened. Christopher, accompanied by two of Daniel's sisters and an older man I recognized as the family attorney. Daniel, one sister began, what is Christopher telling us? Who are these people? Victoria, Lauren, Daniel struggled to sit up. This is my wife, Maya, and our daughter, Lily. Victoria gasped. Lauren's hand flew to her mouth. That's impossible, Victoria said. You're not married. We've been married for 8 years, Daniel replied calmly. Quietly. Privately. My choice, not hers. The attorney stepped forward. Mr. Montgomery, given your condition and medication, perhaps this should wait. It can't wait, Gregory. You know that. You have the papers. You know the truth. Christopher turned on the attorney. What papers? Mr. Montgomery's will and associated documents, Gregory replied. Which I'm not at liberty to discuss until after his passing. This is absurd, Lauren said. He's clearly not in his right mind. I think Daniel needs rest now, I said firmly, standing. This excitement isn't good for him. And who are you to decide that? Victoria demanded. His wife, I replied simply. And if you care about your brother at all, you'll let him have peace. The nurse returned. Mr. Montgomery needs medication and rest. Everyone must leave. Especially her, Christopher pointed at me. She has every right, Daniel said weakly. More than any of you. The nurse began ushering people out. I bent to kiss Daniel. I'll come back tomorrow. He grabbed my wrist. Stay. Please. I don't want to be alone with them. I looked at Lily, asleep in a chair. We'll stay, I decided. As long as you need us. Hours later, as evening fell, Gregory the attorney returned. He's sleeping, I whispered. That's probably for the best. Gregory pulled up a chair. Mrs. Montgomery, I should prepare you for what's coming. Call me Maya. He nodded. Maya, I've been the Montgomery family attorney for 30 years. What's about to happen won't be pretty. I expected as much. Daniel came to me 5 years ago with your marriage certificate. He wanted you and Lily protected no matter what. The will we've prepared is airtight, but that won't stop his family from challenging it. Why are you telling me this? Because Daniel asked me to look out for you. He knew this moment would come. Gregory opened a folder. I have copies of everything. Your marriage certificate, Lily's birth certificate with Daniel as father, property deeds, bank accounts, all legally binding. Tears filled my eyes. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. The battle is just beginning. He glanced at sleeping Daniel. How much time do the doctors think? Days. Maybe a week. Gregory nodded grimly. Then we need to prepare. The family will try to remove you from the premises. They'll claim you're an imposter, a gold digger. They might even say Daniel wasn't in his right mind when he made his will. What should I do? Stay. Fight for him and for your daughter. He handed me his card. Call anytime, day or night. Dawn broke over the Montgomery estate. I'd spent the night in a chair beside Daniel's bed. Lily slept on a daybed in the corner. A soft knock. The nurse entered with medication and Rachel, Daniel's niece. I brought breakfast, Rachel said hesitantly. I thought you might be hungry. Thank you. Rachel set down the tray. Is it true? Are you really his wife? I nodded. For 8 years. Why didn't he tell us? That's a complicated story. Rachel's eyes drifted to Lily. And she's his daughter. Yes. Her name is Lily. She's 4. Rachel approached the sleeping child. She has his eyes. And his stubborn streak, I added with a small smile. The family is in chaos, Rachel admitted. Uncle Christopher is talking about having Daniel declared mentally incompetent. Aunt Victoria is convinced you're a con artist. And what do you think? Rachel considered. I think Uncle Daniel always had secrets. He was different from the rest of them. Kinder, less concerned with appearances. And I've never seen him look at anyone the way he looked at you yesterday. Daniel stirred, eyes opening. Rachel. I'm here, Uncle Daniel. Being nice to my girls, he rasped. Rachel smiled. Trying to be. Someone in this family should. He reached weakly for my hand. Water. As I helped him drink, the nurse checked his vitals. The doctor will be here at 10. Rachel lingered, clearly curious. Can I get you anything else? Just keep the wolves at bay a little longer, Daniel said. I need time with my family. I'll try, but they're determined. They're talking about lawyers, court orders. Let them try, he said with a flash of his old determination. After Rachel left, Lily woke and climbed onto the bed with Daniel. For a precious hour, we were just a family, reading stories, sharing memories, pretending the world outside didn't exist. Then Christopher returned with a man in an expensive suit. Daniel, this is Dr. Reynolds. He's here to evaluate your mental state. Daniel's jaw tightened. Get out, Christopher. It's for your own good. You're clearly not thinking rationally. I'm protecting my family, Daniel finished. My real family. For 20 minutes, the doctor tried to trap Daniel with circular questions and leading statements. Despite his weakened state, Daniel remained sharp, answering clearly and consistently. Finally, the doctor stood. I'll need to compile my findings. Let me save you the trouble, Daniel said. I'm dying, not delusional. My faculties are intact. My decisions are my own. If my family can't accept that, it's their problem. After they left, Daniel collapsed back, exhausted. They won't stop, Maya. I know. But neither will we. As evening approached, Daniel's condition worsened. His breathing became labored, pain more difficult to control. The hospice doctor adjusted his medication, then took me aside. It's accelerating faster than expected, she explained quietly. Hours now, not days. You should say whatever needs to be said. I arranged for Rachel to take Lily to another room temporarily. Then I sat beside Daniel, holding his hand. Do you remember our first date? I asked softly. His lips curved. You wore a red dress. I couldn't stop staring. You took me to that ridiculous French restaurant where everything was tiny and cost a fortune. And you said you'd rather have a burger. His laugh turned into a cough. That's when I knew. Knew what? That you were the one. Real, in a world of pretenders. He squeezed my hand. I'm sorry, Maya. For all the hiding. For not being brave enough. Don't. I pressed my forehead to his. We had 8 beautiful years. We have Lily. No regrets. Just one. That I won't see her grow up. That I won't grow old with you. Tears spill down my cheeks. I'll make sure she knows you. How much you loved her. Promise me something else. His breathing was labored. Don't let them push you away. Stand your ground. You and Lily deserve everything. I promise. Bring Lily back, he whispered. I need to say goodbye. Rachel brought our daughter in. Lily climbed carefully onto the bed, nestling against her father's side. Are you going to heaven, Daddy? Daniel's eyes met mine over her head. Soon, sweetheart. But I'll still be watching over you. Will you be an angel? The best angel. Whenever you see a star, that's me winking at you. For the next hour, Daniel used his remaining strength to create one last memory with his daughter. Stories, laughter, promises of eternal love. When he began to fade, I suggested Lily draw him a picture. While she was distracted with crayons, Daniel pulled me close. It's time, he whispered. I can feel it. I'm not ready. Neither am I. But it's happening. His blue eyes fixed on mine. Remember what I told you. The letter in my desk. The safe at the beach house. Gregory has everything. I remember. And Maya, be happy again someday. That's an order. Before I could respond, the door opened. The entire Montgomery family filed in. Christopher, Victoria, Lauren, cousins, nieces, nephews. They crowded around the bed. We need answers, Christopher began. The only answer you need, Daniel said, voice surprisingly strong, is that I love my wife and daughter. The rest is in my will. You can't possibly expect us to accept this arrangement, Christopher pressed. A secret wife? A child we've never heard of. Your acceptance isn't required, Daniel replied. Only your compliance with my wishes. Victoria turned to me. How much is he paying you for this charade? Daniel tried to sit up, anger giving him momentary strength. Victoria, that's enough. No, it's not. She shot back. You bring these strangers into our home, claim their family, expect us to just accept it. Don't upset my child, I warned, moving protectively to Lily. Whatever issues you have, leave her out of it. The confrontation might have escalated, but Daniel made a strange gurgling sound. All eyes turned to him as his body spasmed once, then went still. The heart monitor flatlined. Daniel! I rushed to his side. The nurse ran in, assessed the situation, pressed the emergency button. Everyone out. Now. The medical team arrived, but it was clear. Daniel Montgomery was gone. In the chaos, the doctor's pronouncement, the family's shocked grief, I held Lily close, both of us crying as reality sank in. Through my tears, I became aware of the family watching from the doorway. Their expressions ranged from grief to speculation. Only Rachel showed genuine compassion, placing a hand on my shoulder. I'm so sorry. Christopher cleared his throat. The funeral arrangements will be handled by the family. I looked up, wiping my face. We'll be staying here tonight. Lily and I need time to say goodbye. That won't be necessary, Victoria said coldly. We are family, I interrupted, my voice steady despite my breaking heart. And we're staying. Marcus seemed about to argue, then nodded stiffly. One night. We'll discuss next steps in the morning. After they left, Rachel helped me prepare Lily for bed. The exhausted child finally fell asleep, clutching her stuffed rabbit. Thank you, I said to Rachel. For your kindness. He loved you, Rachel replied simply. That's enough for me. Left alone, I returned to Daniel's bedside one last time. His body would be moved to the funeral home in the morning, but for now, I had these final moments. I'll keep my promise, I whispered, kissing his cold forehead. They'll know us. They'll see us. And Lily will have everything you wanted for her. Outside, stars dotted the night sky. One seemed to shine particularly bright. Daniel was winking at us already. The funeral was held 2 days later at St. Patrick's Cathedral. I arrived with Lily, both of us in simple black dresses. The Montgomery family was already gathered on the steps, and conversations hushed as we approached. Christopher stepped forward, blocking our path. This isn't appropriate. Stepping aside would be appropriate, I replied quietly. Don't make a scene in front of your brother's daughter. Rachel appeared beside him. Uncle Christopher, the press is watching. Indeed, photographers had gathered across the street. Christopher hesitated, then grudgingly moved aside. Inside, I sat with Lily in the front row, across from the immediate family. The service was traditional and impersonal. No one mentioned the Daniel I knew, his humor, his kindness, his love for his daughter. At the cemetery, as the minister spoke final prayers, Lily tugged my hand. "Can I give Daddy my picture?" I hesitated, aware of watching eyes, then nodded. "Of course." After the casket was lowered, while the family placed roses, Lily stepped forward with her folded drawing. Victoria made a sound of protest, but Rachel silenced her with a look. "Bye, Daddy," Lily said clearly. "Don't forget to wink at me." Even the hardest heart seemed to soften. There was no denying the child's grief was genuine. As the gathering dispersed, Gregory approached. 3 o'clock at my office. "You know the address?" "I do." Christopher overheard. "You're not seriously proceeding today. It's inappropriate." "It was your brother's explicit instruction," Gregory replied firmly. 3 o'clock. The conference room was tense when I arrived. The entire Montgomery family sat with their personal attorneys. Conversation stopped when I entered. Gregory gestured to a seat. "Mrs. Montgomery, please." The use of my married name sent another ripple through the room. "Now that everyone is here," Gregory began, "we can proceed with the reading of Daniel Montgomery's last will and testament." He opened a folder. The first sections were standard: revocation of previous wills, appointment of executors, payment of debts. Then came the bequests. To his siblings, Daniel left personal items and modest cash gifts. To nieces and nephews, including Rachel, educational trusts. To various charities, larger donations. The family grew restless as the bulk of the estate remained unaddressed. Finally, Gregory reached the key section. "To my beloved wife, Maya Chen Montgomery, I leave the remainder of my estate, including but not limited to our homes in Manhattan, Montauk, Aspen, and Paris. My personal investment portfolio, my art collection, my ownership stakes in non-Montgomery family businesses, and all other assets not specifically designated elsewhere." Shocked silence, then explosion. "This is outrageous. We'll contest this immediately." Gregory raised his hand. "There's more." When quiet reluctantly returned, he continued. "To my precious daughter, Lily Elizabeth Montgomery, I establish a trust to be administered by her mother until she reaches age 25. This trust includes my shares in Montgomery Industries and all associated companies." The uproar was even greater. Christopher slammed his fist on the table. "This is unacceptable. Montgomery Industries has been family-controlled for generations." "The shares transfer to Lily's trust," Gregory explained calmly. "Until she's of age, voting rights will be exercised by the trustee, Maya." "We're contesting this," Victoria declared. "All of it." "On what grounds?" Gregory asked. "Mr. Montgomery was legally married to Maya. Lily is their legitimate child. Medical evaluations confirm he was of sound mind." "We'll see about that," Christopher growled. "One final section," Gregory said. Daniel included a personal message. He began reading Daniel's words. "To my family, I know this comes as a shock. I regret the secrecy. That was my choice, not Maya's. She wanted openness. I chose hiding because I was afraid of your rejection. But I was wrong. Maya and Lily are my family. My real family, built on love rather than obligation. They deserve everything I can give them. To Maya, stand your ground. You've earned this. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. To Lily, I'm sorry I won't see you grow up. Know that you were the light of my life. And to all of you, I hope someday you'll see what I saw. That family is about love, not bloodlines. That Maya and Lily deserve your respect. That the Montgomery legacy is not just about money and power, but about doing what's right." Silence fell. Then Christopher stood. "We'll be filing a formal contest first thing tomorrow. Don't get comfortable, Mrs. Montgomery. This isn't over." I rose to face him. I never thought it would be. But Daniel prepared for this moment for years. "Every document is in order. You'll waste a lot of money trying to undo what can't be undone." "We'll see," Victoria snapped. "Yes, we will." I gathered my purse. "In the meantime, I suggest you reflect on Daniel's final message. He wanted peace, not war." As I turned to leave, Rachel stopped me. "I meant what I said earlier. He would be proud of how you're handling this." I squeezed her hand gratefully. "Thank you, Rachel." The next weeks were brutal. The family launched an all-out legal assault, challenging the will on every possible ground. But Gregory had prepared well, every document was airtight. Meanwhile, I did one carefully controlled interview with a business publication, showing a photo of Daniel, Lily, and me at the beach house. The image of a devoted wife and innocent child resonated with the public. The Montgomerys, with their obvious wealth and privilege, came across as cold and grasping. 3 weeks after the reading, I received an unexpected visitor at the penthouse. Victoria Montgomery stood at my door, looking uncomfortable but determined. "May I come in?" she asked quietly. I stepped aside. "Lily is napping." "That's fine. I wanted to talk to you anyway." Victoria entered, her eyes taking in the apartment, the space that had been Daniel's secret home for years. "This is lovely," she said. "Thank you. Would you like some tea?" She nodded, following me to the kitchen. Neither spoke as I prepared the tea. Finally, seated across from each other, Victoria broke the silence. "I owe you an apology." I waited, not making it easier. "What I said at the mansion, about you and Lily, it was cruel and unfair." I was shocked, but that's no excuse. "No, it isn't." Victoria sipped her tea, clearly struggling. "I've had time to think. To look at that photograph in the article. To see how happy Daniel looked with you." She paused. "He was happy, wasn't he?" "Yes. Very happy." "That's the thing." Victoria set down her cup carefully. "I can't remember the last time I saw him look like that around us. He was always so guarded, so formal. Like he was playing a role." My expression softened slightly. He felt trapped by expectations. "I'm starting to understand that." Victoria pulled something from her purse, a small photo album. "I found this in his office at the mansion, hidden in a false bottom of his desk drawer." She slid it across to me. I opened it with trembling fingers. Inside were photos I'd never seen, pictures Daniel had secretly kept of our life together. Lily as a newborn. Me sleeping with our daughter on my chest. The 3 of us at the beach, at Christmas, on Lily's birthdays. "He kept us with him," I whispered, tears filling my eyes. Victoria nodded. "He loved you. That's obvious from these. And from the way he arranged everything to protect you both." "Then why are you fighting us so hard?" "Because it's what Montgomerys do," Victoria said tiredly. "We fight to protect what's ours. It's how we were raised. But I'm starting to wonder if what we're protecting is worth the cost." She stood, smoothing her skirt. "I haven't told Christopher or the others I came here. They wouldn't understand. Not yet. But I wanted you to know that at least one of us is questioning the path we're on." As she headed for the door, she paused. "When Lily wakes up, would you tell her that her Aunt Victoria said hello?" It was a small gesture, but significant. The first acknowledgement of family ties. "I will," I promised. 2 days later, Gregory called with news. "Victoria Montgomery has withdrawn from the will contest," he said. "And she's convinced Lauren to do the same." "What about Christopher?" "Still fighting. But without his sister's support, his case is weakening considerably." That evening, Rachel called. "Can we meet? There's something you should know." We met at a quiet cafe in Brooklyn, far from Montgomery circles. "Uncle Christopher is getting desperate," Rachel explained. "He's trying to access Daniel's medical records illegally, building a case that the treatments affected his judgment." "That's ridiculous. And probably illegal." "Definitely illegal. I overheard him talking to his attorney." Rachel leaned forward. "I think you should tell Gregory. File an injunction before Christopher can use anything he finds." Within hours, we had filed for an emergency injunction. The judge granted it the next day, along with an order for Christopher to explain how he'd access private medical records. It was the first real legal victory, and it sent a clear message: I wasn't going to be bullied. A week later, Gregory called again. Christopher wants to meet. To discuss a settlement. What kind of settlement? He's offering $50 million in exchange for relinquishing Lily's shares in Montgomery Industries and agreeing to change her last name. I actually laughed. Not a chance. I told him you'd say that. His fallback is you keep everything in the will, but agree to a voting trust arrangement for the Montgomery Industries shares. What does that mean? You'd retain ownership, but the shares would be voted by a committee. You representing Lily's interests, and 2 family members rotating annually. It acknowledges Lily's ownership while giving the family some continued influence. I considered it. I'd need to see the specific terms. And I want something else. What's that? A real relationship between Lily and her father's family. Regular visits, holiday gatherings. A chance for her to know where she comes from. Gregory made notes. I'll add that to our counter-proposal. The negotiations took 3 more weeks. In the end, we reached an agreement that surprised everyone. The will stood as written. I would receive everything Daniel had left me. Lily's trust would remain intact, with the voting trust arrangement for the Montgomery Industries shares only. But more importantly, the Montgomerys issued a public apology for how they'd handled the situation and invited Lily and me to become part of the family. We recognize that Daniel Montgomery loved Maya Chen and their daughter Lily, their statement read. We regret that family expectations prevented him from introducing them publicly during his lifetime. We welcome them now as part of the Montgomery family and look forward to building relationships with them. It wasn't perfect. Christopher remained distant, his resentment barely concealed. But Victoria and Lauren made genuine efforts to connect. Independence, but close enough for regular family gatherings. Rachel became a regular presence in our lives, taking Lily to museums and teaching her about her father's childhood. 6 months after Daniel's death, I stood in our new home, a renovated brownstone in Brooklyn, far enough from the Montgomery mansion to maintain our independence, but close enough for regular family gatherings. Lily ran through the garden, chasing butterflies, her laughter filling the air. Victoria and Lauren sat on the patio with me, planning Lily's 5th birthday party. Daniel would be happy about this, Victoria said, watching her niece play. All of us together. He would, I agreed. Later, after everyone had left, I tucked Lily into bed in her new room. Mommy, do you think Daddy can see us? She asked. I pointed out the window at the night sky. See that bright star? That's Daddy, winking at us. Lily smiled sleepily. I love you, Mommy. I love you too, sweetheart. Downstairs, I poured a glass of wine and sat on the patio, looking up at the stars. The journey had been brutal, grief, legal battles, family drama. But we'd survived. More than survived, we'd won. Not just the inheritance, though that secured Lily's future in ways I'd never imagined. But something more important, recognition. Acknowledgement. A place in the world Daniel had kept us hidden from for so long. My phone buzzed with a text from Gregory. The final papers are signed. It's over. Congratulations, Mrs. Montgomery. I smiled, slipping the emerald ring Daniel had given me back onto my finger. I'd stopped wearing it after his death, the memories too painful. But now it felt right again, not as a symbol of what I'd lost, but of what we'd built together. What would continue through Lily. The Montgomery Foundation, established in Daniel's name with me as executive director, had already awarded its first round of scholarships. 20 children from underprivileged backgrounds would attend top universities, all because Daniel had loved me enough to secure our future. A year ago, I'd been a secret. A shadow in my husband's life, invisible to the world that defined him. Now, I was Maya Chen Montgomery. Widow. Mother. Philanthropist. The woman who'd forced one of New York's oldest families to confront their prejudices and make room for someone they'd never expected to acknowledge. It wasn't the life Daniel and I had planned. It wasn't the happy ending we'd dreamed of, where he'd finally introduce us proudly and we'd all live openly together. But it was something real. Something meaningful. And as I looked up at that bright star winking down at us, I knew Daniel was proud. We did it, I whispered to the night. They see us now. They know us. Just like you wanted. The star seemed to shine even brighter, and I smiled through my tears. Not all secrets were meant to stay hidden forever. Sometimes they needed to be revealed, not to cause pain, but to heal it. To create connections where there had been divisions. To transform isolation into belonging. That had been Daniel's final gift to us all. The truth that set us free. The Montgomery Foundation Gala was in full swing. I moved through the crowd with practiced ease, now comfortable in a world that had once excluded me. Mommy. Lily, now 9 years old, rushed up to me. Aunt Rachel says they're about to announce the scholarship winners. I smiled at my daughter, who looked so much like Daniel with her blue eyes and determined chin. Then we'd better get to our seats. The family table included Victoria, Lauren, Rachel, and even Christopher, who'd gradually softened over the years. He'd never be warm, but he treated Lily with genuine affection and had grudgingly admitted I'd done well managing the foundation. As the scholarship recipients were announced, 20 more young people who'd have opportunities they'd never dreamed of, I felt Daniel's presence beside me. We'd started with nothing but love and secrets. Now, 5 years after his death, his legacy lived on in ways he'd never imagined. Not just through the company that bore his name, but through the lives we were changing, the barriers we were breaking, the family we were healing. Lily squeezed my hand as the final recipient was announced, a young Asian girl from Queens who wanted to study medicine. "That could have been you, Mommy," Lily whispered. "That could have been anyone who was told they didn't belong," I whispered back. "But now they know differently." After the gala, as we drove home through the city lights, Lily was quiet. "What are you thinking about, sweetheart?" I asked. "Daddy. I wish he could have been here tonight." "Me too." But he was, in a way. All of this, the foundation, the scholarships, bringing the family together, it's all because of how much he loved us. Even though he kept us secret. I'd been honest with Lily about our history, age-appropriately. She knew her father had loved us but had been afraid of his family's judgment. "Even though people make mistakes, Lily, your father made a big one by hiding us. But he also made sure that when the truth came out, we'd be protected. That we'd be okay. That's what matters. Do you forgive him?" I thought about it. Yes. I forgave him a long time ago. Because love isn't perfect, and neither are people. But he loved us the best way he knew how. That night, after Lily was asleep, I stood on our brownstone's roof deck, looking at the Manhattan skyline. Somewhere out there was the penthouse where Daniel and I had hidden our love. The Montgomery mansion where he'd died. The office where I now ran his foundation. The cathedral where we'd said goodbye. All of it was part of our story. The hiding and the revelation. The pain and the triumph. The secrets and the truth. My phone buzzed with a message from Victoria. "Thank you for tonight. Daniel would be so proud of you." "We all are." I smiled, typing back, "Thank you for giving us a chance. It means everything." Another message came through, this time from an unknown number. "Mrs. Montgomery, my name is Sophie. I'm one of this year's scholarship recipients. I just wanted to say thank you for believing in people like me. You've changed my life." Tears filled my eyes. This was why it had all been worth it. The grief, the battles, the public scrutiny. Because now we weren't just living for ourselves. We were living for everyone who'd ever been told they didn't belong, who'd ever been kept secret, who'd ever been made to feel invisible. I looked up at the stars, finding the one that always seemed brightest. "We really did it, Daniel," I whispered. "We turned our hidden love into something that changes lives. Into something that matters." The star winked, and I knew, wherever he was, Daniel was finally at peace. His secret wife was secret no more. His hidden daughter was hidden no longer. And the love he'd been too afraid to show the world was now helping to change it. That was the real inheritance. Not the money or the properties or the company shares. But the courage to live openly. The strength to demand recognition. The determination to transform pain into purpose. And as I stood there under the New York sky, I realized something. I was no longer just Daniel Montgomery's widow, or Lily's mother, or the woman who'd won the inheritance battle. I was Maya Chen Montgomery. And I'd earned every part of that name. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to comment your thoughts, hit the like button, share it with someone who loves a good twist, and subscribe to Tales by Shaldra for more emotional, heart-gripping stories every week.